Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Amy May here joining us again, our life coach who specializes in helping humans. Amy, please introduce yourself to our listeners. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Jill, and it's good to be here. And wow, to be around your energy today. I am ready for this.
Ditto, same here. I feel it. I feel it.
It's such a good way to start our day, isn't it?
It is. Thank you so much.
So I'm Amy May, as Jill said, and life coach out here helping humans. What I really am passionate about doing is helping people gain more confidence in all areas of their life, to help them rediscover themselves by kind of digging into their true identity, develop the mindset of who it is they want to be, and learn life skills and fall in love with personal development along the way.
Aww.
So we do this with personal and group coaching, courses, an exclusive Facebook group with multiple benefits. And if anyone would like to email me and request, I do have an ebook that is going to be getting sent out for free for anyone who would like one of my ebooks. So, and you guys can email me at info@workwithamymay.com. And also the website is workwithamymay.com. So how you doing, Jill?
I'm doing great. Thank you. It's excited to have you here live and in person on the Zoomcast as well. Let's talk a little about the work that you're doing as a life coach. You're helping people gain more confidence, right? Let's go through that. And then when it's the right time, what did you say? Then I will do it. We're going to talk about that and a little bit about your journey. Go ahead.
Awesome. Well, so gaining confidence in our lives is something that oftentimes we don't even realize that we lack the confidence until we start seeing ourselves not doing something, right?
Yeah.
And so like you said, the talk is about when it is the right time, then I will do it. Well, so many different times we have something that comes up. People, there'll be an opportunity that comes up and it's like, it's just not the right time right now. I will. I mean, that sounds great. I would love to, but it's not time yet. And that's where having the confidence to say yes when it's a great opportunity to dive into is vital. It can change everything. Oftentimes we've used it as an excuse not to overcome the fear of stepping into it. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's not a good time. Well, is it that it's not a good time? Or is it that you're afraid to step into whatever that opportunity is? Is that, are you having this problem where you're thinking maybe that this opportunity that's being provided to you, that you're not qualified? Maybe that you can't do it? A lot of times we let those things hold us back when most of the time stuff that gets offered to us, it's a great opportunity, is the universe being like, yo, you said you wanted things to change. Right? So we need to have that confidence to step in. And that's where life coaching can step in and help out a little bit.
I love it. I love it. And do you want our listeners, since it's new, to talk a little bit about, a little bit about your background before we continue the conversation today?
Sure. Absolutely. So I've always been, the caretaker, the at-home mom, but I've also always been the one who's juggling all these different things. And part of what had happened to me was not realizing how much I was capable of and where I was at. And I'd lost so much of my own confidence in myself of being able to do things just because I did the stuff that needed done. You know what I mean? The parenting, the taking care of the parents, whatever. I balanced all of these different things, but I didn't have confidence in myself that I was, I don't know, as smart as everybody else, that I was as capable as everyone else, those kind of things. So when everybody kind of grew up and moved out, I wanted this new life for myself and I wanted to start making changes, but I was afraid. And so it took developing confidence in myself, which honestly, the way that I did a lot of that was I pushed myself to step out into something that was going to give me that scoreboard to show me that I could do this, and it really helps if you do that. But what also really helps, Jill, is if you have someone like an accountability partner, a life coach, anyone that can help you take stock of where you are and see how you can step into the next thing. Make sense?
Totally does. Absolutely. I believe you with this accountability factor. And it's so true. Now, Amy May's been doing this for quite some time. She's here live on the Zoomcast and the podcast. We're talking about her journey. And for today, I know you mentioned this is 9 weeks. Has it really been 9 weeks we've been talking? Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, we have
Wow.
one more week to go,
Wow.
Jill.
And you
Yeah.
kind of want to focus on today.
Yeah.
Why do we stop ourselves from doing something, right? Why do we limit ourselves and imposter syndrome? Is that what it's on for more for today's
Exactly.
topic? Wow.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we can definitely step into imposter syndrome because I think that sometimes you hear the word, you know what I mean? It's tossed around. It's out there. Imposter syndrome, imposter syndrome. It means I'm faking it. No, really, what imposter syndrome is that annoying voice in your head that's trying to tell you you're not capable of doing something. And so it makes you feel like if you step out to do something, that you're an imposter, you're a fake. And how many times have we heard ourselves saying that, oh, what are you doing trying to help someone? What are you doing trying to step into this job? Why are you even applying, for this or that? And it's that negative imposter syndrome that is making us feel like we're not worthy of doing something. And so taking time to look at where you're at and why, what are the things that you have accomplished? What have you done? Because when we don't take stock of our victories, then it's really easy for that negative voice to come in telling us that we're not capable of doing something. And if you've just started something, let's say that you're working on listening to podcasts more, right? And you're listening to educational podcasts. You don't realize, like, if you've been doing this for a while, how much that you have gained from it, because it's that power of consistency. And oftentimes people underestimate the consistency of doing little things to improve our lives step after step after step. We expect something huge, we want it to happen really fast, but we don't realize that those little teeny steps are taking us towards that something huge. Did you have a question?
And no, I just, this imposter syndrome, it's funny because I never really knew the definition of it because like it just sounds different than what it is. But all right. I think I've gone through this myself then too. Yes.
Right? It's so relatable, right? It's that little figure that's sitting on your shoulder, whispering in your ear, you can't do that. Don't step out there like that. Don't have people look at you. You're not able, you're not capable, you're not able to do this. And that's wrong because look at all the different things you've done, and how much that you have achieved, right? So now, how do we move ahead? How do we get out of that imposter syndrome? How do we break free from it? Because just because I told you about it, just because now you know the name, it doesn't solve it.
No. You got to work on it. Yes. Like with everything. Yep.
It'd be so nice if it was that easy, but it's not. It's learning to become aware of it, learning to accept the fact that there's going to be times you're going to doubt yourself. I mean, come on, we're human. That just happens. But learning that if you actually create a plan out your plan and start working towards the changes you want in your life, stay consistent with it, implement those changes in your life, and begin being aware of every step of victory that you have, that's when all of that gets so much louder than that voice. And that's when it makes it a whole much easier to jump into a great opportunity.
Oh, and that's what you're trying to help people do. By the way, just remind us of the website. I don't even think we established your website and contact information off the top.
Yeah.
Did we?
Sure, absolutely. So the website is workwithamymay.com. So you can get a hold of me there. Info@workwithamymay.com is my email. Remember, if you email me there and mention that you want my free book, I will definitely send that out to you. And phone number 407-258-2885.
Perfect. All right. What else did you want to share for today? My goodness, I can't believe this is almost our last show. Wow. Okay. Almost.
I know. Yeah, we've got one more after this one. Another thing, if you want to follow me on social media, on my website, it's got the social media links. So you're able to jump on there and you can follow me on TikTok, on Facebook. And I do also have a Facebook group, Legendary Living on Purpose. that helps
Mhm.
people to do some of these things that we're talking about how you can plan your life out, how you can get that confidence you need to step out into the life you want to have.
Ah, well, yeah, I want to learn more about
Yeah,
this. How can we do it? Teach us, teach us.
exactly. So, all right, here is your first step in
Hmm.
recognizing that what's going on is a feeling of imposter syndrome. And here it is. When an opportunity is presented to you, that very first minute second, do you feel excitement? And then is it immediately followed by a chaser of fear?
Hmm.
Because to me, when you feel excitement right off the bat, when some
Yeah.
opportunity arises,
Hmm.
if the first thing you feel is excitement, this is meant for you. If that chaser up right after that is fear, then it's that voice that's telling you. Because as soon as you start getting all of those thoughts like, oh, no, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't take this weekend away. Okay.
Yeah.
And you might think to yourself, well, wait a minute, how is that an opportunity? Like, what are we talking about here? But do you know how many people don't step out and do something? Friends invite them to go away for the weekend. And instead of stepping out and going with them, they come up with all this fear about, well, I can't, I shouldn't. And oftentimes that's not really what's the best thing for them. Stepping away and taking that time with their friends is a great thing. As a
Yeah.
mom, Jill, your first thought, I mean, I'm sure you would love to get a weekend away, right? Your first thought is excitement.
But
Your
then
second thought, yep,
it's fear to leave my kids alone with someone.
exactly. Fear to leave your kids alone with someone, fear of how do I get this all arranged? Will I even enjoy it? And am I going to be able to get there and be relaxed, right?
Exactly. Yes.
So is it even worth it? And so then your response to them is, no, I can't go, right?
Usually,
And
yeah.
you let it slip away. Yeah. Because it feels like there's too many things. What if you had the confidence? Because there are situations, there are ways that you can figure out someone to
Hmm.
be able to, like in your situation, you have kids that need to
Yeah.
be watched. You know,
Mm.
learning to be confident in how you brought your kids up, learning to be confident in your choice of caregivers. Sometimes we don't realize that the reason why we don't have that extra help that we need is because we're not confident in our choice of
Ability.
who can help us out. Crazy,
That is
right?
so true. Oh my God, that is so true. Wow. It just recently happened.
Yeah.
I took a risk. I went away, left my kids with someone who I've trusted years ago. She hasn't been around at all. It worked out fine, but the anxiety of it was I didn't want to go. I was untrusting. I was scared. That literally just happened. So it's bizarre that you just even brought
Yeah.
that up. You're maybe intuitive too.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, I personally believe that the universe drops stuff on us, that sometimes we have no inkling of how and where this came from. So Jill, I let me just pop in right there then. I am really proud of you that you
Thank you.
stepped out and did that. So
Total out of my comfort zone. I've never done it.
yeah,
So it was a hard thing
yeah,
to do. Yeah. Wow.
yeah. Well, but even with the anxiety, even with the things that you dealt with, that stepping out and caring for yourself in that way, that was a victory.
Hmm.
And I want you to give yourself that victory. I want you to realize that the first
Thank
time we
you.
do lots of things, it is, you're welcome. The first time we
Scary.
do lots of things, it is so scary, right?
Hmm.
100%. But you know something? When you came back home and you saw your kids and you guys hugged for the first time
Ah,
since you
that
were
was
gone,
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't it? Don't you feel like this sounds weird, but you were a better mom when you
Yes.
stepped back in
It
because you'd had that few minutes to breathe?
it is so so true. Yeah.
And and the thing is, when we can look at this like in your situation as a parenting situation, but we can look into it in any other, realm, let's take it with stepping out. Okay, I'm going to start doing this yoga class. Oh, no, wait a minute. I mean, it sounded great, but I'm not good at yoga and I don't like how I look in, the outfits and you know what I mean? All
Hmm.
these things start coming up to us. And it's like, back off. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The first time you go, of course it's going to be scary.
Hmm.
But if you can get yourself to take that step and have that victory, do you know that the next time it's not going to be as scary. All of us, I mean, everybody has something, that is challenging for them to do.
That's so
But
true.
once we start breaking through that, do you
Yeah.
realize that you're taking that time away to be with your kids? Jill, actually quite possibly changed other areas in your life and improved them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, yeah, can you see? Have you seen anything? Has anything? Because I know sometimes we
I came
actually
back more
get revealed right
patient.
away.
I came back more patient and understanding, calm, and yeah, like kinder. Mom, can we play? Oh, sure, I could play. Make the time because usually I'm like stressed and I didn't want to, and I'm missing them, and I realize, oh my gosh, like they need me, and I want to make this. It's yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's really, that's really cool. I am so glad for you. I love that. I love to see that breakthrough for parents because that life is our responsibility. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? As a parent, we are so responsible. And so we, especially as women, because we're such servers, and
Mm-hmm.
we get so completely focused on serving and serving the child. And all of this stuff is happening, and there's so much responsibility, so much that needs to be done, so much overwhelmed, so much where we question ourselves.
Yeah.
Are we even capable and are we doing a good job? And
Mm-hmm.
if we don't get that reset time, that time away
Yeah.
to come back in, then we don't even realize when we're running on autopilot that we're not as,
It's so
like
true.
you said, happy and joyful and patient. So awesome. Okay. So we've talked about the imposter syndrome. We've talked about making the plan and seeing where it could be seen and figuring out how to start implementing and how to notice what it is that's doing it. And like I mentioned about, depositing the victories in there, having that time, you know, daily. I think you talked at one point about some different things that you do. That's kind of your routine of, daily gratitude and stuff like that. When we
Yep.
talked about the
Waking
magic,
up. Mm-hmm.
take, yep, exactly. So taking some of that time and also giving ourselves credit for what we did do today and looking at some of our victories can help us to start building this bank up of all this positive. So when we are hit with this imposter syndrome saying, there's no way you're going to be able to balance this. There's no good way you're going to be able to figure it out. Well, if you get some huge opportunity coming at you to be gone for a day or 2 days or something like that now, Jill, because you did that with your friend watching the kids and it worked out well, yes, that voice is still going to come at you and be like, no, 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 what are you doing? What are you doing? But if you can look back on how it worked out so well and what you learned from it,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, maybe you learned, okay, FaceTiming with the kids makes me feel better than just a phone call because
Yep.
I can see them and see everything's good. So that
Did
was
that
something you learned.
too. Really did that too. Yep.
Very good, very good. And so when that next opportunity comes, because you've already taken some steps, you're a lot more confident going into it. You began growing that confidence. So the next thing I'm going to suggest is having confidence is a great thing, but what value does it have if you don't know where you're going?
True.
So, looking at where you're at in your life, are you where you wanted to be in your life? And if you're not, then what is it? Where is it that you want to be in your life? And what areas could more confidence help you to achieve that? So, like, what new plan are you wanting to work on? And what is the path to get there? So,
Mm.
you can sit down with a journal and do this on your
Yeah.
own. You can, sit down, do a little bit of dream building and figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
If you take a comparison of where you are today and
Mm-hmm.
where it is that you want to be, the bridge is what you need to be able to get yourself there. And that's where you need the confidence to help to build that bridge. Make sense?
Absolutely does. I'm ready. Help us
Awesome.
build this bridge. Go ahead,
Awesome.
Amy Bay. You're on a roll.
All right. All right. So, all right. So let's take a situation. You're working in a job. You're feeling that you're doing everything you can in the job and you're not making enough money. You need more money to take care of all your outside, things that you
Mm-hmm.
have going on between bills. And, it'd be kind of nice to be able to go out once in a while and have fun.
Yeah.
You really would like to replace that car. Okay. But you're stuck in this mindset of where I'm working at and what I'm doing with this job is my job and where I need to
Mm-hmm.
stay and what I need to do, right? You don't
Yep.
have the confidence to either ask for a raise or a
Mm-hmm.
promotion, or you don't have the confidence to change jobs,
True.
or maybe the job that you have is great for you and it's a wonderful job, but maybe you need to bring something on the side that's going to bring in a sideline income, right?
Mm-hmm.
But not having the confidence to step out and do it will allow yourself to accept the excuses of, you know, I'm not able to, I'm not good enough, whatever. But it's also going to have you accepting the excuses of I'm too tired. I'm too
So true.
tired. Yeah,
I've
I'm too
used a lot.
tired
Yep.
to, because here's what happens. The reason why, I mean, obviously people are tired because of doing too much as well. But oftentimes the reason why we feel more tired, Jill, is our lack of passion and our lack of
Mm-hmm.
inspiration, right?
Yep.
And so when we don't have confidence to chase something different that we want, we get tired, we pull ourselves back, we accept all of the different excuses.
Yep.
And so that's where it's important to figure out where it is you want to go and figure out how to get there by getting there by improving things like confidence and like setting a goal to achieve it and having the confidence that you can achieve those goals. So here you are, you're feeling tired, you're exhausted, your job is your perfect job for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
True.
You're very good at it, all of that, but you really want a new car, like a nice new car. Okay. So my first steps are suggesting that the first thing we do is start looking at new cars.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you might be thinking to yourself, that's insane. I have no money to get the new car. That's
How is
why I
this
was
gonna?
talking about
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. But if you don't have something that you're visualizing that you want, you're not going to press through the lack of confidence to get there.
True.
So the first thing is getting something to look at, to see, to be able to dream about. All right. So now we have this car in front of us, and it's this nice, shiny Jeep Grand Cherokee. I mean, red, it's beautiful. It's got the wheels. It's perfect for the kids. It's perfect for you. When the kids aren't with you, you can take the top off and just, really enjoy. And so now you have this Jeep you're looking at. Okay, now how do we get it?
Yeah.
And that's when you start to look at what are the steps, what are the ways. Again, your job, you're staying up. Okay, so seriously, here I am. I'm I'm a working mom who's raising the kids alone, and there's no time. I cannot go get a second job. I
Mm-hmm.
can't, and we can start rattling off all the things we can't do because we're exhausted, right?
Yep. So true.
But what are the things that you could do? For example, with you already have a social media presence,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you've already done so many different things in your life with being on, out here, and you've got the voice and you've got all this. So what are the things that you could do
Talents that I could
to
do. Yep.
get your mind
Thank you for
exactly get
helping
your
me.
mind going? Yeah, get your mind going with the talents that you have that are things that could go alongside of what you're already doing in small cracks of time. So besides being a life coach, I'm an affiliate marketer. Why am I an
Yeah.
affiliate marketer? Okay, well, first of all, because if I go see a good movie, if I go to a restaurant and enjoy eating at that
Yeah.
restaurant, if I,
Thank.
all these things, I tell everybody about it, right?
Yeah.
So why not get paid for it?
Why not get
And
exactly?
that's
Oh
what,
gosh. And I
and
apologize. We're out of time. I'm so sorry,
oh
Amy.
no,
Yes.
oh no, yeah, no
So
problem.
I'm sorry. We'll finish the
Only one
conversation
more
next
week.
time, but we have to wrap it up. I'm so sorry. Would you mind sharing the best form and all forms of contact? Thank you.
Sure, yes. Okay, so again, you can get a hold of me on my website, workwithamymay.com. And you can email me, info@workwithamymay.com. Like I said, free book, email me and ask for that one. Phone number 407-258-2885. And the social medias are on the website. So go on there, click on, find me there. And next week, Jill and I are actually taking calls.
Oh, good.
So
Awesome. So open up the
kind of
phone lines.
excited about
Thank you
that.
so much. Me too.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Amy
All right,
May, you
sounds
have a
good.
fantastic
Have
day.
an
Thank you
incredible
so
day.
much.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.